Hendon Hooker. Solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Lions and the Buccaneers under the lights on Sunday night.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night. Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaud. And ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a look at the man under center, now in his 8th season in the National Football League.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They'll take that 14 yards on play number 1. CD, always more eyes on these night games, and they started it off nicely there on that run.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Don't think for a second these players don't know and understand that. They want to impress their peers across the league. They also want to win the ball.
Oh, an absolutely filthy joke. He's got some space now. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 42 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game. Able to slither by, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. Well, this time they'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in, as he stopped at the 1-yard line. Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Lions will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a 1st down on the keeper. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook. And that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal, you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Tua sets up to pass it. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. From the gun, it's Tua. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And his throw is incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect?
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly.
Now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. As they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
3rd down, Hooker looks to throw it. And knock him down way up close to the 40 at the 49. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and his early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Hooker to throw on 1st and 10. Being chased out left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing. Hooker. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Bucs, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance. Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Here we go on 4th down, and he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Well, first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time looked well for a solid gain.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football. 2nd and 5. As they've got it as we resume action. On 2nd down, Tua. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark. And
when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Lions at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Hooker. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Tua going to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Here's Tua. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Tua. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting to 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now a handoff looking right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off play action. Here's Hooker. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. After the turnover, it's Tua. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So here are the Lions to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Room here to run. Down the left sideline. And finally down at the 32-yard line. 101 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Hooker to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bryant. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 18 more yards there and another first down. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Andrew Booth making the tackle. 2nd down and 6 now. Here's Hooker. And this is incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
And the Lions are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
3rd and goal. Here's Hooker. And that is incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
But no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers get a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road. Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive. And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet. He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off? Keep everybody here. Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here. And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down. On third down, they're going to run for it here. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. On play action, here's Tua. Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down of the sack. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie, and that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Tua, the final shot before half. On the out route, he completes it to Hall. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where you see the final score there. Isaiah Pacheco, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were winners in that ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Commanders. Anthony Richardson, sharp in the victory as his guys bounced back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the third quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin this third quarter.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Looking to pass. Tua. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Tua sets up to pass it. Open man here is Benson. Completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
here's a handoff out of the gun.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
So one first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on third down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw, Hooker.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Hooker's going to throw it.
And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out come the Bucs now.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to kick it away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. So out now come the Lions.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
Hooker.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing. Hooker.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. With plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Benson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Here's Tua. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Tua going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now Hooker.
He finds his man, complete. That's Bryant. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Operating from the gun, Hooker. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Detroit.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little as a defense when Tua gets out of the pocket. You're worried about him scrambling and getting a first down. But there, he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
So here come the Lions now.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They go play action. Here's Hooker. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful. They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Tua with a quick throw, caught out wide. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line.
Now Tua. He finds his man, complete. That's Benson. And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That is caught, and it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Parker. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. That one good for 37 yards.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Hooker. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Here's Hooker to throw it. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Again, it's Hooker looking to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Buck 16. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bucs defense, they'll celebrate the goal line stand. And I am not sure, partner, there what the...
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's 3rd and 3. From the gun, he'll hand it. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Looking to throw. Hooker. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Lions are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even where it just doesn't go right for you, an interception's result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. And no sign of Tua departing. 4th down, they're going for it. 4th down, 4th quarter, here's Tua. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Calijah Kancey able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Hooker now off play action.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Quick throw completed by Hooker.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it's 2nd and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football.
And he takes this one in for the Lions touchdown.
Hendon Hooker
with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Lions up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd down, Tua. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Looking to pass. Tua.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. Aiden Hutchinson,
his 2nd sack of the night.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
60 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.